and talk a little bit more about your expansion. I hear you have exciting news about
Right.
moving out of the New York area.
That's right. What we recognized, and as I say, you have visions of what your goals are, and ours was to make culture change. Well, culture change is goes beyond the 8 counties of the New York metro area, if we're going to do it. So we decided early on that we wanted to be able to have this program travel, that it was relatively simple for us to be able to package. We've already pre-screened and selected really high-quality first-rate movies that we could offer to other communities with programming ideas and really a guide on how to organize a film festival. And that is available. We were really incredibly fortunate this spring to encounter an enthusiastic funder who loved the idea, a man named Jeff Harris who is the president of the Saul Schottenstein Foundation in Cincinnati, who not only is supporting the New York Disability Film Festival, but has funded a traveling program and is committed to making our ReelAbilities traveling program available to at least 5 different cities in 2011. We now have a staff person working out of Cincinnati who will help, you know, address whatever the feelings of unease may be about people who've not yet organized a film festival, to help provide technical assistance and support. And also, the foundation is providing a grant of $5,000 for marketing and outreach to any community that so chooses to participate, along with funding for the screening fees. So we are Cincinnati in next September, or this September, will have its first annual ReelAbilities Cincinnati Disabilities Film Festival, and we're talking with a number of other cities across the nation. So, I feel what we've done here in New York is really a very important contribution to helping foster a new consciousness in this country.
I agree. Clearly, this looks like it's growing.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about a couple of the films? I know you have a number of films this year. We are screening a few of them out here at Abilities, and I know that some are being screened at the Cinema Arts Center in Huntington as well.
Right.
Maybe you could just mention a few of them.
Sure. This year, for the first time, we have actually 2 films that are being paired for screenings that address the issues of mental illness. Crooked Beauty and Wandering Eyes. And Crooked Beauties is a very beautiful portrait of a young woman and her journey and struggles with her mental illness, and the development of a very powerful advocacy and community building organization that emerged from her own journey. She and her co-founder of a wonderful organization called the Icarus Project, with the filmmaker, will be participating in 6 screenings across the New York metro area. We also have, for the first time, and it was interesting to see that traumatic brain injury has emerged as a really, a subject for film. We have a wonderful film from Canada called Brain Damaged Take 2. And it's a very powerful and challenging piece. I'm delighted that we are, for the first time, addressing the issue of man-made disabilities, namely disabilities coming from war. And we are a country at war, and we are seeing an exponential growth in the number of men and women who are coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan with profound disabilities. We have a wonderful film called Warrior Champions, which I know you'll be screening and is being screened in almost every location across the New York metro area, and we will have some of the stars of this wonderful documentary who are coming to New York specifically to participate in the festival. We have international films, and it is interesting to me that most of our films really come from abroad, and I think that does speak to the fact that other countries really recognize the importance of film as a cultural art and make investments in their country's filmmakers, unlike, frankly, the United States. We have a wonderful film, My Spectacular Theater, from China, Red Chapel, a hysterical film about two Danish Korean comedians who travel to North Korea. We have Real Encounters, which are from Australia and other countries abroad. And the opening night film actually is Argentinian and is named Anita, having nothing to do with me. And Me Too from Spain. So it's a wonderful, I think we have a very rich and varied and, of course, very diverse group of disabilities that will be addressed this year in the festival.
And you mentioned cultural opportunities too. I don't want to neglect that this year you've added on a number of performance groups at different venues as well.
Well, we have at the JCC in Manhattan, which is the home and which is the sort of center from which all of this emanates. We have a wonderful program from Sesame Street. Emily Pearl Kingsley, who is a writer for Sesame Street and has been for the last 40 years, is the mother of a young man with Down syndrome. And Emily introduced her son as one of the characters in Sesame Street all those years ago. And she's going to be coming, talking about television and, the impact on the image of disability and the role that TV has, can play, and we'll be screening clips from Sesame Street. We have a wonderful dance piece by the Heidi Lasky group called IF, which is a real community project that involves 20 different dancers of very mixed ability, some professional, some not, and with varied disabilities. We also have Our Time for the first time. Our Time's a wonderful organization that works with kids who stutter and who uses theater and music and now film to help them gain confidence, become really empowered in themselves, and become performers in their own right. And we'll be doing a program. This is, again, the first time that Our Time is joining us. Free, which is a Long Island organization, it has a jazz ensemble who will be performing at a number of venues.
And we'll be having them here.
That's great. Yeah. That's great.
For budding filmmakers out there, how do this is a competition, and I know you go through a process of selecting films because you get many submissions. How do filmmakers know about this?
Well, this is really Yitzi Zablaki's. Yitzi, there are, certainly on our website, there's information about submitting your films for consideration. And then I gather that there are traditional sites that filmmakers look to for submitting their films for festivals. And we have no shortage of films that get submitted. We have a small selection committee, some of whom are people in the field of film, some who are not, like me. And people with disabilities as well. And we screen over the course of a number of months the submissions and make the selections.
Well, this is wonderful. So glad that you're doing it for the third year. It's running from February 3rd
Through the
8th,
8th, right.
and opening night.
Is February 3rd at the JCC in Manhattan at 7 p.m. And we'll be screening Anita.
And if people need more information, we're going to put it on the screen. Where should they?
www.ReelAbilities.org. And it's a very beautiful website, relatively easy to navigate with, and it has all of the information about all the films, all the sites, all the programming, and some background information about what the film festival's mission is.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a great festival again, and I want to thank you for coming, and thank you for your idea and your efforts. I think it's making a change.
Well, thank you very much.
There are two site venues for the festival on Long Island. One is here at Abilities in Albertson. The other is at the Cinema Arts Center in Huntington. For information on the other sites that are in the Manhattan and the other boroughs of New York and Westchester, please look at www.ReelAbilities.org. Thank you.